Um, so with basics, the way you want to go is if there is no bounce bar characters or Scotty, you can go with the spin around book like so. Um, and then especially like if there's an Annie, it's gonna be really hard to not be able to use your elite properly. So the way you have to use the elite is either go with a heavy and then stomp. But if there's an Annie, you need to go heavy and then corrosive blast. Now you could do a running heavy, which is a lot faster, and then into corrosive blast or stomp, and that'll be a lot more DPS as well. But honestly, the way you hit attack book is all dependent on the survivors, like what survivor group they have. If it's Ruby, you could just go corrosive blast just to do the 20% less damage as well, because you'll be hitting them as well. But Stomp does more damage and it's faster to get into. So the way I would start off with Book is a lot different. So I would have proxies around, like so, and I do it before the Dark Ones are done. If the survivors, and then like before the Dark Ones are done, you have Witch out. You just like constantly putting pressure so they don't just run around and set up these proxies. And once they finish the Dark Ones, if they didn't set up the proxies, you drop Cauldron and then grab the Elite if there's a Hunter Ash, and you'd grab a basic if they don't. And if they don't even set off these proxies, it may be beneficial just to summon everything, just so there's so much chaos that you could just continuously use the pincer attack for the basic, and there's they're just going to take a lot of damage. But if there is a Scotty, I wouldn't do that as well because of the AoE that he provides. Even Ruby as well, if she has her ability like being charged up during the Dark Ones and then they finish the Dark Ones and her abilities are about to go off, I would also wait. So, like Plagues, book rotation is like one of the ones you have to like adapt the most. Every other kind of demon you don't really have to adapt as much. Except, like if there's a Hunter Ash, you don't start off with a basic. For Warlord or Necro, the reason for this is because he's going to get his ability again during book. And so you want him to delay his ability as much as possible so he doesn't get it twice or 3 times during book phase. So we'll do what we do, right, is we go with this, we summon the basic, and then as soon as it happens, you just go pincer continuously. And then it's going to destroy that book very quickly compared to spin. So I'll fast forward to elites. So for the basics, if you're going to do the spin, which is preferred because you're going to be applying Blight to the warrior, you need to be moving around, but I'm going to show you. Basically, you're doing this because your head is going to be straight up in the air, and it's going to be very easy for the hunter to just shoot you in the head. And as you saw, compared to the pincer, we were able to destroy the book very quickly with the pincer compared to the spin. So it's a better move. So for elites, you want to go with a fast hit and to stomp, and then fast hit and then stomp, fast hit and to stomp, and that's just because of how long it takes to just do stomp into stomp. There's a delay, so that's going to be like the max amount of DPS because of how long it takes. But if they have survivors, so I'm gonna do stomp and stomp here. So stomp, and as you see, there's just a delay. So what you're doing with that is the animation cancel by doing a heavy hit into book, which I think it does like only 60 damage. But what Corrosive Blast does is it applies blight to the survivors, even though it's a long wind up because this is 2-button input. So basically, you want to do Corrosive Blast around book, and you basically do the same thing where you go this, and then as you see, there's a wind up about like a second, but every second counts on book. So if there is a Hunter Ash, this is kind of what you want to do. You may want to go with Corrosive Blast just to provide, like, put blight on Hunter Ash. But if he dodges it, then it was just a waste of time. Because if you're just stomping on book, he's going to be able to do headshots very easily on the elite. And if there's an Annie with a Hunter Ash, you're going to just be deleted. So the way it would look like, right, if you're using an elite, is you go into stomp, into stomp, into stomp. And this is basically how it would look like. Okay, so there might be a time when you actually have to use your boss because you just don't have any units to use. I would not use boss with Cauldron. There's no reason to. Cauldron's good for protecting your balance bar from most of your units, and just keeping your units alive as much as possible, and be able to use your abilities more freely. Which you don't use Scream and you don't use Potion. You could use Scream, but to be honest, there's such a long windup for Scream that it's not useful. It does protect her head because she throws her head backwards. But honestly, like, boss is gonna die very quickly on Book. And you at least want to get like 4 hits with her. So when you would summon boss, and then as you're attacking Book, just move around and go with heavies. There's 4 attacks. And then you would go into the Scream for the last one. For just so there's not that cooldown. Yeah, and I apologize for not making videos. I currently started working. I work 5 days a week now, and I only have 2 days off, and then I'm going to start school in April, so I'm going to even have less time. And my fiance is finally with me, so I want to spend time with her as well. So I am not going to be able to make as many videos as I want, and I'm not going to be able to stream as much. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please just leave a comment on a video that you want to see so that I can make it kind of like, I may have like 15 minutes a day to kind of make tutorials and stuff like that. But that's about it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do in-depth guides and iceberg stuff anymore, but we'll see. So thank you for watching.